There we go. So tell me about the new show. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you very much. I too am very excited. Well, I have officially joined the Fuse family, Fuse TV, and I have my new show called Don't Cancel Me. Don't Cancel Me basically is a TV show. It's a space where it's unfiltered, uncensored, zero taboos. We talk about everything. I don't know how far I can tell you, but we even talked a little bit about anal sex. From there, we spoke about politics. We talk about immigrations. We talk about the LGBT. I mean, we talk about everything. And I love it because it gives you an opportunity to have uncensored conversations where you don't feel like you're being judged. And I think that now that we're in a cancel culture era where everybody's ready to cancel someone, maybe we should use this opportunity instead of canceling people to make it an educational moment. And also, I also feel that Don't Cancel Me is one of those TV shows that's super important, especially now, because we're in a very sensitive era where like nobody can give their opinion without everybody coming to attack. And it's like, we're going to agree to disagree respectfully. So there comes Don't Cancel Me.
I love that. And I think I got so excited when I heard you were doing this show because we, especially over the last few years, I think with the administration change, with Donald Trump when he got elected, like we no longer agree to disagree. And it became so volatile that, like it was kind of us and them versus us. So I think that's so awesome that you're doing this show. And I heard that you're kind of saying that you speak to all sides, like you're not just you're having a really well-rounded conversation, because I guess that's how we learn is through listening to each other.
Yes, and then I also think it's important to be respectful to each other's points of views, and sometimes if you just shut up and you listen to someone's perspective, you might actually learn something. You might actually, if you try to put yourself in their shoes, you may not completely agree 1,000%, but you might be able to at least understand where they're coming from or why do they think this way about something. And I think that was important to me. Like when my guests come to the show, they automatically know I'm not here to judge you. I just want to know, tell me your story. Why do you feel this way? What have you gone through? What experiences did you live that made you feel this way about whatever subject it may be? And like I said, it's important to be respectful, agree to disagree, and also most importantly, not cancel someone for voicing their opinion.
I love that, because as you said, that's how education happens. If we're too filtered, then you can't really get to the nitty gritty of what needs to be discussed.
Correct. Exactly.
And I think it's so cool. I think people really do feel safe around you because you're so open and honest about your own life and the hardships that you face. So by being open about your own life experiences, it kind of, you rid yourself of the shame, but you also help others rid themselves of their shame as well.
Of course, and I think it's also important to like be transparent. Look, my life is not perfect. First of all, I besides music and everything else that I do reality TV where you have a camera stuck in your face all day and everything is not as pretty and as nice as I would like people to see of me. I have my bad days, or I have a lot of bad days. This is all hair and makeup and glam and all those things. But when you take all of this off, I'm still a regular human being that goes through heartbreaks, like right now. That goes through financial issues like anybody else. I was homeless at one point in my life. I come from an immigrant household. My life hasn't been perfect, and it's okay to express yourself and not necessarily always show this facade of this perfection, this perfect everything. It's not real. It's not true. So that's why I think that my fans support me and they understand where I'm coming from because it's relatable and it's the truth.
Yeah. And I think even, that time in your life where you were homeless, like it gives other people hope, because when you are in the depths of despair, like you really think that, it's always going to be that way, that, it sometimes feels like it's impossible to come back from that. So I think you are an
Yes.
example that you can really do the hokey pokey and turn it around.
Yes, and you know what? Opportunities are always there. Some take a little bit longer than others because even now with Fuse, um, I've been trying to get the show, running for like 3 years now, and it finally came about during the pandemic. So opportunities are always there. You do have to learn how to be patient. when I was homeless, the only way and the only reason why I got out, it was because someone had seen me in a past audition, like 1 or 2 years, past, and they were like, "Hey, listen, they're looking for a TV host for a new show. Are you interested?" And I was, without letting them know that I was going through it. I was living in my car. I could barely pay my phone. Like things were terrible. And I was like, of course, I'll take it. And it was thanks to that paycheck, I was able to get my own little apartment and get my life together. So even when you think that, everything is falling apart, there could be that one moment, that one opportunity that can change your whole life.
Yeah, sometimes all we need is just that one thing to kind of set us going.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's how it was for me.
Yeah, I remember almost like a mentor of mine slash, someone I look up to is the executive producer of Oprah. Her name is Sherry Salata, and she, how she, got involved with Oprah was, she sent in a tape because it was the tape back in the 80s, and she was rejected. But then like 5 or 6 years later, like someone found that tape, in the, somewhere in a drawer and put it on. And then that was the first thing that got her there. And then, she worked her way up. But
wow. See, that's what I'm saying. There's, and that's another thing too. When it comes to Don't Cancel Me, something else that I love is that on my show, we don't just have celebrity, guests, or we're looking for like who has the most followers or whatever. We look for real people, and yes, we do have some celebrities and we do have some professionals. We do have, some athletes, and, all those things are great, but I still wanted to have some real people that had real stories to tell. Because just because you don't have thousands of followers doesn't mean that you don't know what you're talking about or that you haven't been through something or whatever. So that was important for me as well.
I love that, because we seem to be in a society that we place value on how famous someone is or how many followers they have, but your value isn't determined by how many people like your photo on Instagram.
Exactly. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it be stressing me out personally, but I do agree. Like once you know who you are, it is what it is. Oh my God, like right now, I feel like my Instagram is being shadow banned. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going through it. But then there's a part of me that almost feels like, dude, do you see how like brainwashed and involved you are into this platform of people that for the most part, you don't even know who they are, but you're so concerned about them approving of you? See, don't cancel me. But I'm just saying though, I need to get rid of that.
Do you know what's so funny? I went to follow you just before the interview, and I was like, I got like a warning message. It's like, warning, like,
For real, you did?
I did. I can even show you, like, I can even unfollow you and then follow you and show you. But there is like a little warning message that comes up because you are so vocal. Like, I guess you've been reported by haters because you are speaking the truth and they've deemed some of your content, yes, sensitive. So it's like, warning, her content is sensitive. Like,
no, it's just that's what I'm saying. Talking about Don't Cancel Me.
Yeah.
We're in this space where you can't even speak your mind, of whatever topic it may be. And that is so terrible because a lot of my important information is not getting out there to my followers because of this, social media shadow ban. And yeah, I'm on probation now for like 90 days.
Oh my God. You're in
timeout.
Timeout.
I've been a bad girl.
Yeah. But it's funny because like back in the day, like even with like The View, like, kind of more back in the day, like those women, like what was so special about that show and still kind of is, all of those women have a different view, but then they all still respect each other and they all then can, it might get volatile with, certain topics, but then they move on to the next topic and there is no bad blood. It's just, they're talking about and, delving into these hard subjects.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I think that we need more of that. And that also comes with maturity. That also comes with experience. I think that some of us may be able to process certain information better than others. And we can't just ignore the fact that we're also in like a cyberbullying era where people just like to gang. They may not even have all the facts together. They may not even have all the information together, but just because they see one person saying something negative, they just want to be part of the train and follow along with the negativity. And it just becomes a ball of negative energy. And then you don't even know why you're really upset at this person for. You just know that somebody said something that I don't know, and I'm just agreeing with what they're saying. So it's like, why don't we get our facts together? Why don't we educate ourselves? Why don't we stop trying to cancel people and educate, use this moment to educate them? Why don't we use moments like these to be more open-minded, to try to understand their points of views, whatever it is, whether you agree with gay marriage or you don't, whether you agree with adoption or you don't, whether you agree with, I don't know, pro-life, pro-choice, whatever it is, let's just try to be open-minded and understand. And if we disagree, we can still be cool. And it doesn't mean that I dislike who you are as a person. It just means that I don't agree with you on this specific topic.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I'm in home in Australia right now for the holidays. I haven't seen my family for 2 years. And, I am from more of a conservative place. I live in LA. And, I was talking to someone who, I guess is homophobic that I met at a party. And I was genuinely interested. Like I think, many years ago, I would not want to talk to them, like, not give them the time of day, but I was interested. I wanted to know, why do you have a problem with people who are gay? Like, I wanted to find out why. And, and we had a really constructive conversation. And I think, I learned a lot, and he learned a lot too. Like, it was a really valuable conversation that never would have been had, if I hadn't been willing to be open to hear, why he thinks the way that he does.
Right. And I think that that's such a beautiful thing. I almost feel like the internet and just life is like desensitizing us as humans, of being able to have that human connection and that just conversation of like, I'm not mad at you. Just explain to me why. Like, what happened? What did you see? What did you hear? Is it a religious, concept that you get it from your parents? Let's just have a conversation, because I've known a lot of people that have been able to sit down and just have a nice, regular conversation without agreeing, and have actually become friends, and have actually been like, you know what, after I became friends with you, I actually changed my mind. I think you're a really cool person, and maybe I was wrong the way that I was thinking of things before. So that's why I'm like, we need more shows like Don't Cancel Me. We need more platforms where we can express ourselves and not feel like we're being judged, or not feel like we're having fingers pointed. We need more platforms that are going to allow you to speak your voice up and educate other people. And also, this show doesn't have a specific age bracket. Like, this is for everyone, I mean, after 11 o'clock at night, but this is for everyone.
Yeah. So for you, obviously, like, because you are so open, I'm sure you've learned a lot from your guests. What do you think, like, the most poignant moment for you, or the biggest lesson you've learned, or you think, a guest has learned while being on your show so far?
I always talk about the same scenario. I always talk about the same specific guest, because I'm all about women empowerment. I'm all about supporting other women. And I think that sometimes we can be very catty towards each other. We're in a very competitive space of who's better than who looks better than who has the baddest bag, the baddest this, da, 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 da. We live in this space, and this has also been created by us as women. And I also think that this has been created somewhat by men, because they make us feel like we have to compete with one another. So the first episode, the first show that we had, which was Sex and Relationship, and I can't wait to do season 2 and get more into that freaky side.
Yeah.
But the first episode that we had a guest called Ali Ray, and I explained, in other interviews, how much I really admire her, because Ali Ray is a Navy veteran. She is well educated, very well spoken. She has her master's. She's been married for over 10, 12 years. I believe so. She has 2 children. She's like a beautiful, beautiful woman who also went through a process of losing weight. And, she boosted up her confidence by also being part of OnlyFans. And I always had like a perspective. I was trying not to judge, but I have my own perspective on the type of people that do OnlyFans. Because I was like, there's other things you can do. That's the easy way out, or whatever. Or, you might be a bimbo, or might be an airhead, or I don't know, because you follow what everybody else tells you. But once I met her in person and she's showing me that she makes over $600,000 a month.
Oh my God.
Off OnlyFans. Okay. And not only is she making this type of money, but she's using the money to create generational wealth for her children, and she's investing it. And she was also explaining how this is not just a business for, like, if you want to get to this level, you have marketing, you have PR, you have hair, you have makeup, you have editing. Like, this is a whole production. This is a real job. And also knowing that she got fired from her job as a nurse because they found out she had an OnlyFans, it just made me feel like, you know what? Women should feel more confident with their bodies and with themselves, and they should have the rights to do whatever the hell it is that they want to do. Because if she is well educated and she's doing her job, why should she get fired? Because of what she does in the privacy of her home or after work. Like, it just made me understand that women, we are much stronger, much smarter, definitely much smarter than a lot of people may think. And a lot of people may think that the girls that are in these platforms, all of them are airheads or don't know what they're doing. But there are a lot of smart women here that are using this money to do important things. So I really admired that. It was one of those things that I was like, well, you know what? After having this conversation with you, you really made me change my mind on the type of women that get on board with these things. So I was grateful. She also educated me on like sex trafficking, things that may happen through OnlyFans. She educated me on a lot of things that I had never thought about because I'm so busy criticizing and judging like everybody else, that afterwards I was like, you know what? You're actually right. And I admire you for it.
I love that. And I think that's what's so special about you as well, is because you are not, sometimes, with talk show hosts, it's almost like, I've got the answers, like,
Yeah.
but you're like, no, I'm still learning too. And even though you are, an open, non-judgmental person, we're humans. We still judge even when we're unaware that we judge.
Right. Correct. I mean, I'm trying to be more open-minded, and I catch myself sometimes. Sometimes, it's actually like a self-work that you have to do with yourself. Like when you see yourself, you have to catch yourself like, don't do that, So I have to catch myself sometimes, but that's part of the process, and is part of the process of growing and becoming a better person.
I love that. And, even through you sharing that story with me, I'm like, oh my God, yes, I do judge women on OnlyFans. And I never thought about it. But when and I just assume, like so many people, like, oh, really, like, there's always another way. But like, yeah, I've even learned just through hearing, your learning curve. And then it's like a domino effect. Like one person learns, but then another person learns. And eventually, essentially,
Yeah.
you really change millions of people's lives through your show.
Yeah, most definitely. And we in this season we've spoken, I mean, amongst many things, we have spoken about, immigration, which is such a important topic, immigration, so body positivity. We've spoken about health. We have spoken about, I mean, anything that you can imagine, colorism, racism, classism. We've spoken about everything. And I still feel like I really wish that we had more opportunities, obviously, because this is the first season, but to really dig into like, deeper, because these topics, there's only so much that you could talk in an hour, right?
Yeah,
And there's
right.
so much more. Like one of my dreams still is, as weird as it may sound, I would love to sit down with someone from the KKK.
Oh my God, I love
You
that.
see, it's one of those like, I would love to sit down and share this experience with my fan base and not be there to judge you. I don't want to judge you. Hey, listen, this is your mindset. Whatever you want to do is fine. But just explain to me, talk to me, try to help me get into your mindset. Why do you feel this way? What is the belief, the thought? I would love that. I would love to talk, which we had on the show, transgenders, but I would love to talk to, little, if possible, anyone who's young that's going through the process. I would love to talk to religious people. I would love to talk to just, I would love to talk to so many people without judging them, but just trying to understand them. So like that, we can all just come together. Because I think that the best way for us to come together is through communication. If we communicate, is the best way for us to understand each other.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's what's so cool. You're so bold. Like even, like I would say, like 99% of people would be I would be, apprehensive to talk to someone, who's a part of the Ku Klux Klan. But, you are embracing that conversation because you know that through that conversation, there can be learning and hopefully people will evolve, through that discussion.
Yes, and I'll also tell you this. I've seen and I've heard of people that were part of, and after having several conversations, after being shown another side, after being shown love and friendship, um they have actually changed their minds and they have left. So I think that that's what it is. The same thing goes with parents. I would love to talk to some like really strict parents that don't allow their children to do certain things or be themselves, and just get to know them, because like them, there's a lot of people that feel the same way. So it's like there's endless conversations that I want to have, and Don't Cancel Me. This is the beginning of many to come. I'm super excited because, like I said, this is my baby. I worked so hard to make it happen. I'm grateful with the Fuse family for allowing me to be part of the Fuse family, and allowing me to have a show where I can be honest, transparent, and be myself, and they agree with all my craziness. And by the way, guys, if you want to know more, follow me at Don't Cancel Me TV. Don't Cancel Me TV. You can also follow Fuse TV on Instagram and on Twitter. And then obviously every Wednesday at 11 p.m. on Fuse and Fuse Plus, you can definitely go check out Don't Cancel Me with Amara La Negra. But I'm excited and I want to know what you guys think. I want to know your thoughts, leave your comments, everything. I check it out myself. I'm always hands-on and I'm just super excited. And I wish that I could have you as a guest one day too.
I would love that. I would love that. Anytime, you just tell me and I will happily, I'm like you, I'm an open book. So there's nothing that I will not discuss. So
I love it. I love it. See, we need more people like you. That's what makes your show, spontaneous and just like refreshing.
I love that. I love that. And, I know you've kind of answered it, but just before we do go, what is the thing that you hope that people get when they do watch your show?
I hope that people become educated. I hope that people become open-minded. I hope that people become less judgmental. I hope that people become more human. I hope that people become more sensitive to other people's feelings, because sometimes, we're so easy to judge and destroy people with our words without really understanding how we can really hurt someone's feelings, because I think that we no longer care about other people's feelings. So I hope that people, watch this show and on every episode, they feel like they took something new out of it,
I love that. And because you're taking something new out of it as well, like you're part of that journey with them.
Exactly. And I'm loving it. And I'm really, really loving it because I am learning.
Oh, and as well, I've actually got one more question for you.
Yes.
What do you think the woman that was homeless several years ago would say about the woman today?
Oh, wow. This is the best question. Nobody's ever asked me that, but I would say that she would say, I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I knew that you could do it. I know that there's still more in you. Don't be scared, which is one of the things. Sometimes it's the Libra in me. I overthink things. Don't be scared. Just get up and do it because it's in you. If you can think about it and you feel it in your gut, it's because it's in there. So go ahead, keep pushing because I'm rooting for you. That's what I think she would tell me.
Oh, I love that. You're so inspiring. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Dan, can we do a quick plug before you sign off?
A quick what, sorry?
Really can she just plug the show really quick before you guys sign off?
Plug what?
Oh, cool, yeah.
Oh, I did. I said it comes out every Wednesday.
Oh, you did? Okay, can we just do like another one just to be sure?
Yeah, so tell everyone where they can watch the show and all of that.
Well, of course, you guys can watch the show on Fuse and Fuse Plus. It's called Don't Cancel Me every Wednesday at 11 p.m. Guys, don't miss it. Also, remember to follow us on all our social media platforms at Don't Cancel Me TV on Instagram and Twitter, and go check out Fuse Plus TV on Instagram as well.
Yay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
I look forward to watching your next episode.
Oh my God, yes. Let me know what you think.
I will. And get that Instagram sorted. Make sure that you've got no warning messages.
Oh my God, that's so terrible.
I know. But that's just proving that, what you're doing is right. You're being bold and you're
I
speaking.
need to fix that. I don't even know. Maybe Fuse can help me out with that. Yeah. But anyways, mwah, a pleasure.
Mwah.
Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you as well. Bye-bye.